why we have entries on an accounting for 1 hour's work at $5,000. This is an employee of the county. 1 hour's work at $5,000, 1 hour's work at basically $1,900, 1 hour's work at $2,800 and a bit more.
If I could, you're referring to the property appraisers.
Colleen Skipper.
Yeah, Colleen Skipper's
Yeah, I figured that out.
issues.
Correct.
Yes.
That's the same one FDLE has already investigated.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I don't know that as a board member of FDLE's investigation.
You don't know that?
No, I don't know that.
Where have you been?
Well, has this
You've seen
board
reports
received?
of it, just like the rest of the board has.
You can get a,
We have an
Public
accounting.
record
We have an
request, we get
accounting. In this accounting, it contains these entries. I'm asking how these entries came to be. If this board does not think it's unreasonable to have our accountant enter these entries, then I guess there's no problem in the eyes of this board. I think there's a problem, and I would like staff to address the issue.
So, and I had no idea that this was coming up. So you're, are you wanting to investigate the accounting or the employee?
I'm leaving it to staff to take a look at these 3 checks on the accounting level and see how they came to be. I do not understand how they came to be in a logical way. I don't understand how a county employee gets 3 checks for these amounts of money for 1 hour's work each time. And I'm saying, as a Board of County Commissioner, I think we should at least have that looked at. I mean, it's in front of us. We're made aware of it. I think that we have an obligation to respond to it.
I would make a recommendation to this board to get the FDLE report and look at it before you do anything else. It explains a lot.
And if I could also say that we're talking about the action of a constitutional officer that has since passed away.
well, we got a motion by Commissioner Kessler to investigate,
For staff to investigate.
staff to investigate 3 checks in the property appraiser's office. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Green. Do I have any speakers, Pam? No speakers. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all for the motion?
Aye.
All opposed?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Motion fails 3-2, or 2-3.
Okay.
Okay. Now, are you on item number 20, or are we still under 19?
We
20, right?
are-
20.
Second.
18.
Oh,
We're on 19.
Still on 19.
19, yeah, 2 more. Right. And part of this, this item number 2 is the board has voted in the past to spend citizens' tax dollars on special interest groups. And I think that while some private organizations can make a strong case for the county giving them tax dollars, such as the senior center, I think that's a legitimate case for that. Others, I can't see where there's a legitimate tie, such as the chamber. And I think it's in the best interest of the board to get a written legal opinion from our county attorney whether it's lawful for the board to give tax dollars to organizations such as the chamber, which I think could easily afford to pay their own expenses. And the question is, why are we raising these taxpayers, spending taxpayers' dollars on organizations that are non-governmental?
Okay. Didn't you bring something up in another meeting to do the same thing?
We made and passed a motion to ask the staff to write a policy letter and bring it back to us concerning giving money to nonprofit organizations. And I think that this is all wrapped up in that.
Okay, so is this still coming to us?
It is. I actually anticipated, Tim Barton's been working on it with Pam Portwood. I anticipate at your next meeting.
Oh, I'm sorry for jumping the gun over here. All right. Okay. So why don't we just skip this one then? And, you know, if it's
It'll-
coming,
You'll have a proposed policy that would look at how you would handle such budget requests by nonprofits and others.
okay. And it tied into that, do we have a legal opinion?
I haven't asked for one today, but
Could we tie that into the same process?
sure.
Okay, great.
Just, if I could on that, any policy that we pass, we've got an attorney sitting behind us, and if we pass something that's illegal and he doesn't open his mouth, let's be blunt, he needs to be fired and fired immediately. If you don't mind. Exactly. You betcha. I think of you quite often.
You on item number 3?
Yeah, thanks a lot. Let me get over here to this slide program, and could you douse, I guess, everything except the second one from the left? The one with the tape on it, and that, you know, that's exactly right. So,
You're a quick learner.
okay. I tried to speak to some of this at the last meeting, and board didn't want to hear at least part of what I had to say, but the board recently voted to reimburse a developer for the expense that developer said he would bear.
Mr. Chair?
And excuse me, I have an agenda item, and I'm going to appoint.
I don't on the agenda.
Point of order?
Well,
A point of order being that you have to have been on the prevailing side of this issue to
I am not
bring it back
I am not bringing up for a vote. I am not doing that. I am wanting to discuss this. This is on the agenda. This is,
As long as you
Where is it
don't
on the
mention,
agenda?
as long as you don't mention the Boynton sewer agreement, that's fine.
yeah. Well, misinformation was given before that vote. And when the information was questioned and the contract was questioned,
Commissioner, you're
misinformation was
bringing up that,
provided.
you're bringing up that again. I
Was
said
provided.
specifically, don't speak about that one. You can
Well,
talk about.
I feel
By the
very
way.
strongly that there
Well,
was...
we're not
I
going-
have a
we're not gonna
question
talk
for
about it
our
again. You're
county
about to be out of
attorney.
order.
I have a question for our county attorney where I'm going with this, and I want these questions answered. I've asked Utah Utilities to be here. I need to understand...
Well, you need to do it in private. 'cause
Well,
you're not
I don't
doing
need
this
to do it
meeting.
in private. This is a public issue. These are taxpayers' dollars that are being paid.
No.
And I would like
You're
to
not
know
discussing this
that
issue.
I think it's in the taxpayers' best interest that this board,
Cliff, turn the lights
the
on.
direct the
Commissioner
county
Kessler, I
attorney
suggest you sit
to
down before I call
provide
you
a
out of
written
order.
legal opinion
I'm
regarding
about
the
to call you out of
validity
order. You are out of order,
of the vote.
Commissioner.
The
I
agreement
suggest you
contained
sit
no
down.
actual numbers stating how much it would cost the county. And my calculations resulted in a cost
Okay,
to
we're
the
gonna take a
county
break.
of not 30,000, but more like $750,000 or $1 million. That item's over? It's too bad. Well, too bad. You still on? Oh, they pulled the plug, so there's no more on the television.